Hello YouTube, it's Divine Shadow here. Welcome to another deck profile for Tiny Leaders. Today we'll be looking at Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. This is not my deck. This is a deck that I'm working on for a friend. So some of the elements are his own, but most of this I've completely changed from stuff that I've seen with other Skullbriar decks that are just much better. Originally, he wanted to do Pharika, but we just couldn't find a way to make it work. So, on to the deck list. We have 16 creatures, starting off with Champion of Lambholt. This creature, whenever it's any creature that has power less than Champion of Lambholt's power, can't block creatures that I control. So, anything that's weaker than Champion of Lambholt, well, my creatures can come right on through. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under my control, I can put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lambholt. So the bigger she gets, the more annoying she gets. Dreg Mangler, 1 colorless, 1 black, 1 green. Haste, 3/3, with Scavenge. The Scavenge engine works like this. You pay whatever the scavenge cost is, you exile the card from your graveyard, and you put a number of +1/+1 counters equal to this card's power on target creature. You can scavenge only as a sorcery. So, just pump out a lot of counters. Eternal Witness, get something back from your graveyard to your hand. That's about it. Experiment 1, a 1/1 with Evolve. Evolve is whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control. If that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. You remove 2 +1/+1 counters from Experiment 1 to regenerate Experiment 1. Glissa the Traitor. First strike, Death Touch, 3/3, Zombie Elf. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you return an artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. We don't run a lot of artifacts, so that ability is really irrelevant, but she has First Strike and Death Touch, which is good on its own, so we use her. Herald of Torment, 3/3 flyer. You lose some life, but you can also bestow it onto something to give it 3/3 and flying. So it becomes lethal power in the air. Master of the Feast, really good. 5/5, 4/3, it can fly. Who cares if they get an extra draw power? This thing puts them on a timer. When this thing's out, it starts going away, smacking them in the face, and there's not a whole lot of flying in this format so far as what I've seen. So there's not a lot of stuff to even block a Master of the Feast. So you're going to want to get rid of him. He's going to be causing a lot of hell in the air. He's a fat demon, so I like him. Fat demons are cool. Predator Ooze. Predator Ooze is indestructible. Whenever Predator Ooze attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Whenever a creature damaged by Predator Ooze this turn dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Predator Ooze. I don't know why I keep saying it like this, but I remembered a video I watched where a guy was calling clouds clouds, and now it makes me want to talk like that a bit. But don't worry, the next card I can't really make a stupid voice like that for, so you're in luck. Primordial Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. X is whatever you pay. And at the beginning of the upkeep, the counters double, and when it gets 10 or more, it gets trample. Protean Hydra, another Hydra. It loses +1/+1 counters, and then more are put on it at the beginning of the next end step. Scavenging Ooze. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a +1/+1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain a life. Our General Skullbriar, the Walking Grave. Haste, whenever Skullbriar, the Walking Grave, deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Counters remain on him no matter where he goes. You have to either tuck him into the library or put him into the hand for him to lose his counters. Otherwise, put him back into his command zone after he's already gained some counters. He'll come back out later with the same amount of counters. Slitherhead, green or black, 1/1. When it dies, you can scavenge it for absolutely nothing, and then put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. Strangleroot Geist, green, haste and undying, so comes in for some damage, then it punches somebody in the face, and then when it dies, it comes back and punches them in the face. Vampire Nighthawk, flying, death touch, lifelink. What, you expected me to say more? That's enough of a reason in and of itself. And Varolz, the Scar Striped. Each creature card in your graveyard has Scavenge. The Scavenge cost is equal to its mana cost. Sacrifice another creature, regenerate Varolz, the Scar Striped. Really awesome. Running 17 land. This is still a test. I don't know if this will actually be enough land, but I have a feeling it's going to work out decently. So we're running 6 Forest, 1 Gilt-Leaf Palace, 1 Golgari Guildgate, 1 Jungle Hollow, 1 Overgrown Tomb, 4 Swamps, 1 Tainted Wood, 1 Temple of Malady, and 1 Woodland Cemetery. Our sorcery will be 1 Despise, 1 Duress, 1 Inquisition of Kozilek. This is a staple for anything that can use black. It hits everything. Absolutely everything but land. So, this is not ever going to be a bad card for this format. Duress, also really good. Taking stuff from an opponent's hand is always fun. And Despise is annoying. Unearthed is our last sorcery, which will be picking any card from our graveyard with a creature card from our graveyard with a total casting cost 3 or less, so basically anything at all, and put that creature into play. You can also cycle this card if there's absolutely nothing to hit for a free draw. Our enchantments would be there's 4 enchantments, so Beastmaster Ascension, really good card, can make your creatures completely beefy and out of control. Really good. Hardened Scales, if 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be placed on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are placed on it instead. So that many +1/+1 counters plus 1 more +1/+1. Rancor, easily just an option, perfect. Comes back to your hand when the creature dies. If they try to destroy it, comes right back. It's just, yes. And Song of the Dryads, I'm not sure how to pronounce this. You enchant a permanent. The enchanted permanent is a colorless forest land. This hits anything. Absolutely anything. This can shut down strategies. It can take out commanders. It can slap people in the face with a fish. It's awesome. I love this card. This is actually really fun to even see this thing played in just regular EDH. And I've seen this thing actually cause people hell. So, definitely gonna use this. An absolutely wonderful card. Our instant, the Golgari staple, Abrupt Decay, especially for this because it hits everything in this format that's not a land. And it can't be countered by spells or abilities. So this card is an absolute must-have. Diabolic Edict, target player sacrifices a creature, make them get rid of something. Dismember, you only need to pay 1 mana. Who cares if you lose some life? Sometimes maybe 2 mana, but that doesn't really matter. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn, which hits a lot of stuff and makes it brutal. And then you can do this to get rid of basically anything that's going to bother you in this format, unless they somehow have already made a creature extremely high, but whatever. That's not going to be the case most of the time. Putrefy, destroy target artifact or creature, and it can't be regenerated. Really good. Another staple for anything that runs black, Smother, destroy target creature with converted mana cost 3 or less, it can't be regenerated, hits everything, that's a creature. Worldly Tutor, search your library for a creature card and reveal that card, shuffle your library and then put that card on top of it. Just for 1 green mana, that's a nice search. Aether Vials, a pretty damn good card for this type of deck, in my opinion. Just getting your stuff onto the board faster for absolutely nothing at all makes me happy. And it's the only, actual expensive card in this deck. Bow of Nylea, 1 colorless, 2 green. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. So, make these things huge. Make them even scarier by giving them Death Touch. Choose one of the options for a colorless or a green. Give them a +1/+1 counter. Deal 2 damage to a target creature with flying, gain 3 life, or put up to 4 target cards from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. And our last is Vorak Battlehorns. Equipped creature has trample and can't be blocked by more than one creature, so they basically can't double block you. So you can trample over them, and they will have an even harder time killing off something that's basically going to smash their face in. So yeah. Sorry for smacking my lips too. I don't know why I do that. I guess it's really dry up here. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this deck profile, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a wonderful day. This is Divine Shadow, signing out. Peace.